Eyes by the French-American artist Louise Bourgeois is a granite sculpture that is part of the public art collection in Battery Park City. Louise Bourgeois is one of the most prolific and internationally acclaimed 20th century artists in a field dominated by men. Born in Paris in 1911, to parents who ran a tapestry gallery and restoration business where she sometimes worked, Louise Bourgeois started her artistic practice in France until she married and moved to New York City in 1938, where she spent the majority of her 8-decade art career. Louise Bourgeois' black granite eyes are blown up in scale so that each orb is a meter tall. The exaggerated size intentionally makes the sculpture easy for people to interact with. Visitors are invited to look, touch, climb, walk around, and form their own experiences. Eyes came to Battery Park City in 1995. The artist requested that the sculpture be installed in such a way that the eyes looked out over the Hudson River towards the Statue of Liberty. Eyes are a repeated motif for the artist, especially in her public art practice. The eyes in Battery Park City match another larger set, which is at a public sculpture park in Oslo, Norway. Bourgeois isolates the eyes from the rest of the body so they are more universal and no longer have a specific gender. She calls eyes lie detectors because of how they could look at and interact with their surroundings. Louise Bourgeois was an important figure in the New York art scene, but has always been hard to categorize. Though she showed work with artists who identified as surrealists, abstract expressionists, feminists, and pop artists, Bourgeois didn't consider herself to be part of any specific art movement. She often worked with the themes of childhood, trauma, dreams, gender roles, the human body, family, death, and deception. Louise Bourgeois also used many different materials and media for her work, from drawings and soft fabric sculptures to metal. As the artist gained more commercial success, she was able to make larger-scale works with more expensive materials, including a focus on public works, such as eyes. Despite her long art career and her continued presence and influence in the New York art world, it wasn't until 1982, when she was 71 years old, that Louise Bourgeois received her first major solo museum show at the Museum of Modern Art. She represented the United States at the Venice Biennale in 1993, and in 1997 received the National Medal of Arts from President Bill Clinton, the highest honor an American artist can receive in the United States. Public encounters with her sculptures all over the world elicit surprise and wonder. Visit Battery Park City in Lower Manhattan and see almost 24 examples of the art of our time, from installations and landworks to sculpture and memorials.